We do it every week, and frankly, we nail it. It is time for Who Needs to Fuel Your Hustle, presented by Oikos 000. I may have just jinxed the whole thing, but we will still break down the players who need to step it up in Week 14. Nate, who needs to fuel their hustle?
You know who needs to fuel their hustle, Kay? I'm going with DeAndre Hopkins. And not that he hasn't fueled his hustle.
Okay.
It's just that he needs to continue to do what he does. You know, we'll constantly talk about Deshaun Watson. We'll talk about J.J. Watt. We'll talk about this team in its totality. But I think DeAndre hasn't received the praise that he deserves.
You want accolades?
He won accolades. I'll give you accolades. 21 receiving touchdowns over the last 2 seasons. That's the most in the NFL. 6 TDs in the last 7 games. Obviously, he's balling. I'll just take you back to Week 4 when this whole hot streak started against the Colts. You want to know what he did? 10 catches for $169 in a TD. Now, you have T.Y. Hilton on the other side, and, you know, going back as a player, I always loved it when there was somebody that was comparable, and you could look across and say, I respect that man. He's an absolute monster, and T.Y. Hilton is an absolute monster. Of course he's going to raise his level of play and fuel his hustle when you're looking across at a guy who has 6 TDs and is the anchor of that offense over there. So, for me, I'm looking at DeAndre, continue to do what you do, because without him, it's not about the catches. It's not even about the fancy ones, the circus catches that we all love. It's the catches in the big moments. I will tell you right now, there's not a receiver in the game that has more big-time catches in big-time moments than DeAndre Hopkins.
Talk about it.
Hey. Pay attention to him. Pay attention to the second downs, third downs, and even throwing it to him on 4th downs. This man is clutch as it gets. There's no 50-50 ball when it comes to DeAndre Hopkins. It's an 80-20. He gets it most of the time.
They want to go for 10 straight wins, this team. It's only happened to them twice in franchise history. I love DeAndre Hopkins, always fueling his hustle. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson, and it's not to say that he's not doing enough, and I'm not here to pick apart what he's doing wrong. It's the fact that at Arrowhead, you're going to have to take it to another level.
We need more, Kay.
Any quarterback. I would be saying that if it was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. He's been such a spark to this offense, to this team that's now riddled off 3 straight wins after 3 straight losses by Joe Flacco. If indeed he's given the keys, which momentum-wise he definitely should, running the ball is great. The spark he's added, opening it up, rushing. But don't tell me that even though you have the #1 defense, you're just trying to stop a bleeding team scoreboard. Like, you're not going to stop the Chiefs from putting points up entirely. Yeah. So at some point in this game, at Arrowhead, you're going to have to lead your team quickly downfield and score with Flacco-esque throws. You missed 2 to John Brown last week. Those are the kind of things I want to see. And it's a huge task, and it's maybe too much to ask for. But they're right there, Shriggs. They could easily find themselves in the dance and make a noise.
If the Ravens beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, the entire AFC playoff picture is given like an earthquake, because the Steelers only have a half-game lead on them, and the Steelers lost to the Chiefs. If the Ravens can beat the Chiefs in their building, watch out. And Lamar Jackson, he's been good.
Super scary.
I'm going to go with, let's stay with the Chiefs for a second. I think Patrick Mahomes is the MVP. I have been rallying that flag and carrying that flag all season long. But last week, my mind sort of had like this click, and it wasn't because of Drew Brees, or it wasn't because of Andrew Luck, it wasn't because of Russell Wilson. I was watching Aaron Donald just dominate the Detroit Lions, and I was watching Aaron Donald on the field, and I'm like, is Aaron Donald the MVP? And for a second, I considered it, which means that my team, or my guys that need to fuel their hustle, is who is in charge of stopping him. The Bears' offensive line needs to show up on Sunday. Sunday night is going to be a display for the Chicago Bears, and if Trubisky's back there, they need to keep him upright, because Aaron Donald is coming. Take a look at these 5 names.
Go on.
These are the 5 guys that need to fuel their...
Give me Cody Whitehair.
What are we doing? Chicago.
Cody!
I'm calling you guys out. I'm calling James Daniels out. I'm calling Cody Whitehair out. I'm calling Eric Kush, a former L.A. Ram who is a star on Hard Knocks. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you Bobby Massey out. And all of these guys, this is without their best offensive lineman, Kyle Long, who's out, obviously, until he heals up. Aaron Donald's coming. And as much as we want to talk about Matt Nagy and Tariq Cohen and all the fun that the offense does, they don't stand a chance if Aaron Donald is in the backfield the entire game. Aaron Donald is coming to the cold weather where he played his college ball, and he is looking to wreak havoc on Sunday night. And if the Bears offensive line, which, guys, here's a newsflash, it hasn't been good the last 2 weeks. It has not been good. Trubisky's been out, but Chase Daniels has been down. Chase Daniels has been sacked now 9 over the past 2 weeks. That ain't good. Aaron Donald's coming. Bears offensive line, you better step up.
You've been championing the Bears before we get to your Fuel Your Hustle this whole week, saying that they have a chance that they could even win.
Yeah, I think they're going to win.
I know. So you think they're going to win.
Yeah.
When you hear him talk about Aaron Donald against those 5 guys, Aaron Donald in general, what does that do to you?
It's a joke. I watched Nagy yesterday, his press conference, asked about Donald. He was like, like he needed a drink immediately. And he just started listing all the things he does. Peter, that's a great call out. You know, Kush, he's not going to like that. He doesn't like TV and cameras. I know that personally. I tried to walk up to him once with the cameras. He almost punched me. Like, he doesn't like that stuff, but he's got to block Donald. He's one of those guys. It's a great call out. Oh, it's amazing. I'm going to look, I don't know if you guys know this. Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard. Antonio Gates used to play some basketball. Jerome Bettis is from Detroit. Tyler Hansbrough plays really hard. And Tom Brady has trouble down in Miami. He now has a Ryan Fitzpatrick went to Harvard, and it's Tom Brady cannot win in Miami. The numbers don't lie, fam. We talk about the Patriots and how they dominate the AFC East, and they do. Tom Brady is 7-9 in Miami, losing record. He's thrown 15 picks in those games. We're seeing him get intercepted. It was Zach Thomas on the field. It's so much so that our crew here at Good Morning Football, who's a bunch of football nerds like we are, the second we brought up Brady in Miami, like, ooh, he always loses in Miami. He has a bad record there. Everyone was jumping through the teleconference call, and I get it. It's a thing. Last year alone, let's talk about last year. Monday Night Football, Patriots at Dolphins. Patriots on an 8-game winning streak. They're going down to play the Jay Cutler Dolphins. Brady gets picked off twice. They lose. The Patriots did not have a third down conversion in this game. 0, 000, like Oikos. That was how bad that game was. And let me just tell you something. Tom Brady, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, is going to be on some incredible golf course. It may be in Florida. It may be in Mar-a-Lago. And someone's going to go up to him and be like, you know what, Tom? You're the greatest.
Wow.
But you couldn't beat the Dolphins down in Miami. It is going to stick to him. For a guy, nothing sticks to him. Perfect career, perfect person, perfect family, perft wife, perfect everything.
1,000 rushing yards.
1,000 rushing yards. He can't win down in Miami. Are you telling me that the most accomplished quarterback this game has ever seen cannot go to Hard Rock Stadium and win in the same stadium that the Lions won this year? Tom, this is maybe one of the last few shots you get at this thing. Don't walk off. I don't care if you win the Super Bowl this year. You couldn't beat Miami in Miami. You do not want that to stick with you, not now, for the rest of your life. Fuel your hustle with some avocados, wherever the hell you're eating these days. Go down there and win. Let's go.
Yeah!
7-9.
They always say gangsters don't die, they move to Miami.
Yeah.
Well, Tom Brady won't retire till he beats Miami.
You got to do it. This dude has been to 8 Super Bowls and only has 7 wins in Miami. There's something that's incongruous about that.
Yeah.
Got to fix that now, man.
Oh.
Tweet us at #GMFB. Excellent job by everybody. That is your Fuel Your Hustle by Oikos.